This is Best Value Q&A, the show where we answer your most pressing questions about project management, procurement, and supply chain management. I'm your host, Jake Cano. Join me as we talk with the founder of the Best Value approach, Dr. Dean Kashiwagi, and we learn his secrets to saving companies millions of dollars in project costs. Let's welcome Dr. Dean.
So a lot of people on your LinkedIn, when we ask them for questions, one of the common things is what differs Best Value from other delivery systems? Design, bid, build, anything along the lines.
The major difference between the Best Value approach and all these other alternate delivery systems is in the Best Value approach, it identifies and utilizes expertise where that expert can tell the difference and see from beginning to the end of the project and make it simple. Whereas all the other systems, all the other approaches cannot do that.
That makes sense.
They're too complex. And to really understand these other approaches, we recently wrote a paper that touches on it, and we will write another paper that expounds on why we have all these different delivery systems and why professionals have such a difficult time in utilizing expertise and making these projects successful.
So these other delivery systems, they focus on different complex ideas, but the Best Value approach focuses on just one idea, and that's finding and utilizing expertise.
Well, it's a little more, I don't want to use the word complex, but it's a slightly different explanation. And it deals with how, quote, services have been delivered over the last 50 years. Over the last 50 years, the whole approach was owner-centric, which means the owner was the most important entity. And the contractors and service providers, they were just to listen to what the owner wanted. And the owner would tell them what's important. But because the owner wasn't a true technical expert in all the different areas, the owner had to utilize, quote, expertise. But these experts weren't truly experts. They called themselves professionals. And what professionals did to deliver services is they created a system whereby they would have to go get a certain amount of technical education. They would have to have so much experience on what they had been taught and what they had learned as far as technical knowledge. And then they would have to be certified. So they would have to go to school. They would have to get some experience. And then they would have to be certified by some type of exam. Once they were certified, they were a certified professional, architect, engineer, civil engineer, surveying engineer, procurement person, etc. In whatever area, quantity surveyor, that's a professional. You go to school, you get some experience, and you're examined. And somebody gives you that professional certification or title. So you're now a professional. What nobody realized is setting up this system, it was based on, quote, these professionals knowing almost everything, but they didn't know enough. In other words, these professionals now would go out there and tell somebody else what to do, and that's the person doing the work. What they didn't realize is the system that they set up of professionals, that system couldn't tell the difference between entities. But because they didn't have enough information in order to, quote, identify if they got what they told the vendor to do, they used minimum standards. The minimum standards were complex. Yeah, it's very hard to apply. And basically, you had to think about it, and the perception of what these minimum standards were could have been different from one vendor to the next. But that system of minimum standards couldn't tell the difference. So in other words, all the professionals now use this system to identify if the vendor met the minimum standard that was set. And it assumed, because it couldn't tell the difference between vendors, that all the vendors were exactly the same. This is the flaw. The system that the professionals set up, that they were using for 50 years, couldn't tell the difference. The minimum standard was something the professionals all got together and agreed on. And these minimum standards were based on hearing information and the group of professionals making a decision. Once they made a decision on the minimum standard, which could have been accurate or not accurate, that was what all vendors had to meet. And because they were all the same, this set or environment that was set up by the professionals, the only way they could differentiate was by price. It couldn't say this vendor has more expertise in this area than this vendor. No, they were all the same. And once everybody's all the same, all the vendors now realize that they have to be the low price in order to get the project. And so the environment and system set up by these professionals representing, quote, the clients, could not tell the difference. Neither could the professionals. And it led to failures. It led to litigation. Now it's, what did you say? What did I hear? What is our relationship? How do we get out of this problem? We didn't know that. I didn't know this. And it became a, quote, system with performance issues. But nobody realized this. And I guess I'm partly at fault because I never came out and explained this to anybody. But it's the system set up by professionals, which actually lacked accurate information that everybody could agree on. So they were thinking, using their limited information and making decisions, creating these minimum standards. And then because they couldn't tell the difference, they go to the low price. This is a system that has had very low performance and performance issues. And for the last 50 years, they haven't been able to sort it out. It's now going to be sorted out by, quote, technology, which can use accurate information that's observable and easily to agree on by different parties. So this system set up by professionals, which can't tell the difference, I predict in the next 4 or 5 years, it's on its way out.
Wow.
And it's going to be replaced by the best value approach or a similar system that utilizes technology, that minimizes the thinking and decision-making of the professionals. And therefore, we will begin to see the amount of work and the amount of, quote, responsibility by these, quote, professionals in the industry, and their professional systems and their certified systems are going to slowly lose their value.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more content. If you have any questions about the best value approach or for Dr. Dean, leave them in the comment section below and we'll get to them in a later video. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.